Hi everyone, I am Carmelita Keith and welcome to my YouTube page. This video in particular is about my current move to Lisbon, Portugal. So I moved to Lisbon 10 days ago. I've been here a whole 10 days now, and I posted when I first moved here a little over a week ago. Since my first post saying that I am living here in Lisbon, several people have reached out, asked me like, why did I choose Portugal? How did you end up in Portugal? What is it about Portugal that you love? And so I decided to do a video to kind of give you guys the rundown because it's quite a story. I am originally from Petersburg, Virginia. Petersburg is a small town right outside of Richmond, Virginia, if you're not familiar with the area. But before my move here, I was living in the Central Florida area. So I have to say that I've always wanted to experience life outside of the country. It's a dream that goes way back. Again, I am from Petersburg, Virginia, but I felt like I wanted to experience life outside of the country, see what it's like to live outside of the country, even before I had ever traveled outside of the country. When I was 20, right after I graduated from college, I accepted a job with the Department of Defense was doing a program at that time. They were hiring teachers to go to their overseas bases and teach at the schools for the soldiers, the soldiers' children, basically the American schools that were on the actual military bases. And so I had applied for a position with the Department of Defense to go to one of their overseas schools programs. I particularly wanted to go to Japan, and so I was pursuing my dream of seeing what life was like outside of the country. At that time, I had never actually been out of the country. Like I said, I was just graduating from college, small town. I went to undergrad at Hampton University, but again, I was small town girl from Petersburg, Virginia. Anyway, after I had applied for that position and was about to accept the position to go out of the country, I actually got engaged and got married. So of course didn't go out of the country at that time. So it was like a dream deferred. And so fast forward 25, 30 years, I had kids are grown, kids are gone, but I still have always loved traveling. I, again, still had not abandoned my dream of at some point living and experiencing life in another country. I just wanted to be able to immerse myself in a different culture, see what life was like for living in another country. So here I am in Lisbon, Portugal. I will admit that Portugal actually was not on my list of places to live. I'm a beach girl. Like, I love warm weather. I love the beaches. Like I said, I moved here from Central Florida, and being from Virginia, I will admit, after I moved to Florida, I was like, I don't want to live anywhere else where there is snow or ice or cold. I can do maybe like a light jacket or a sweatshirt, but like cold, no, I don't want to do that. So like I said, I had traveled, been to different places. I really was considering Belize. I really liked Belize when I went to Belize. I went to Belize a few times. I had a couple of other places on my list of places to consider. My kids and I had visited Italy back in 2018, I think it was. I loved the food in Italy, but it didn't feel like it could be home. I didn't feel like Italy was a place where I would live. I've been to some other places, Paris, London, but none of those places felt like they could be home, and they get cold, and I didn't want to do that. So recently, my daughter and I, we were doing a 3-week trip to Europe. We did Italy again, we did a week in Spain, and truthfully, we did a week here in Portugal, but Portugal wasn't on our original itinerary. We were doing Italy and Spain, and we pretty much said, well, if we're going to be in Spain, we should just go ahead over to Portugal because Portugal's so close. We need to just go ahead and check it off and say we've been there. Let's just hit Portugal to kind of, just almost like get it over with, like just to say we've been to Portugal. So we went to Italy for a week, went to Spain for a week, and then we came to Portugal for a week. And when I got to Portugal, I was blown away. Like, it was like no other place I had been, no other place I had traveled. Um, it just felt different. I think we were only here maybe like a day or so, and I looked at my daughter and I was like, this is it. Like, this is it. So many things I loved about Portugal. For one, it's coastal, so I see the water. Like, I need to see the water. Like, I need to be close to the water. Even living in Central Florida, I didn't live like, clearly I was in Central Florida. I wasn't like on the beach, but I was maybe like 45 minutes an hour from the beach. But I love being able to see the water. So again, we got here to Lisbon. Obviously, seeing the water was nice. The people were nice. The culture, it's like a slower pace here. And it was also nice to see the diversity here. I will admit that I was really, really impressed by the diversity here. Like, we just saw people from everywhere. Like, it's just, the diversity is very vast here. And so I was really, really impressed with that. And just talking to the people who live here, getting more insight on what life is like here in Portugal, I was like, I think Portugal's it. So that was actually back in April, just this past April. And I moved here in June. So I moved pretty quickly on the decision. I came home, I think we flew out of here on April 7th. And by May 7th, I had hired an attorney to work on my visa. And I had already signed, pretty much signed and committed to a place to live here. And so, again, things kind of happened fast for me. And I moved here in June. Like I said, I moved here 10 days ago. My lease started June 1st, but I had to tie up some things in the States. I couldn't get out right at, get here right June 1st. But, so I got here 10 days ago, late June. And I am here in my apartment in Lisbon. I love it here. Again, I'm only 10 days in, so I'm learning something new every day about the culture, and I like it. I mean, it's different. It's not the States. It's not, it's not the U.S. And so some things I have, there's a learning curve, and I'm open to the learn, obviously open to the learning curve. I'm open to, again, learning about the culture. I do need to learn Portuguese. And so I've enrolled in one of the language schools here to get into a Portuguese language class. It is a pretty intensive class. It's like a half-day program every day, Monday through Friday, for 4 hours a day, because I do want to learn the language pretty quickly. I didn't want to do like a 1-hour class or 2 days a week. I need full immersion. So I do need to learn Portuguese. I mean, a lot of people here speak English, but I do encounter people in my neighborhood who don't speak English and speak only Portuguese. So it's important to me to learn the language to be able to communicate within my neighborhood. But there are some assumptions that I have to, some U.S. assumptions that I kind of have already realized within these 10 days that I have to get past, get over, kind of erase from my subconscious. I actually one day went to a store on a Saturday. It was actually, I was looking for furniture. I was, like I'm in an apartment. I was going to a furniture store on last Saturday and got all the way there and the store was closed. And I was just like, I didn't think to even look up the store hours, because why wouldn't they be open on Saturday? Like, we shop for furniture on Saturday. Like, why wouldn't they be open on Saturday? So that's like a lesson learned. I kind of got to get out of the mindset of like the bulk, big shopping. Like, it's no need to buy like huge amounts of anything. I go to the local grocery store, which is maybe a corner and a left turn up. I go to the baker that's out the door to the left and a right turn up. So there's nothing I need to buy like a lot of, because I can get it's fresh. I've been here 10 days and like I said, I actually just threw out some sausage because it was no good. Like, I bought it from the store a few days. I guess maybe a day or two after I got here, but it doesn't last. Like, I guess I could have put it in the freezer, but I didn't. But it's fresh. The things you buy from the store here are pretty fresh and can't just last in the refrigerator for a week or 2 weeks or whatever. So you do buy in smaller amounts. And so, like I said, I have to think like more in the terms of what am I going to eat like in the next 2 or 3 days, not what am I going to eat for this week or next week. Because again, the stores are accessible. very close. You kind of just need to shop for a few days. The refrigerator is small, so you don't really stock up like that anyway. But again, there are lots of great things here. I'm enjoying the view. I mean, I'm looking out now. My view is beautiful. The weather is warm. It's actually hot, but I was living in Florida. It's Florida. It's pretty hot, like Florida hot right now. But it doesn't get really cold here. It's like the temperatures are pretty comparable. Like they said it gets down to maybe like 45 degrees, which, I mean, we had a freeze in Florida this past winter. So, so not Virginia cold though, not snow, ice cold. So none of that's happening here, but it will get cold enough that you need to kind of put on a sweatshirt or a light coat, light winter coat maybe. And I can deal with that. Like I said, no ice, no snow. I'm okay with that. But anyway, so I'm here in Portugal, and the crazy thing is, I'm really so grateful. Like, again, going back to something I've always dreamed of doing, how I came to this place in my life is just, it's been a blessing. Like, God has been amazing. And, when I look back at how things have happened that actually got me to this place, I mean, some things that in that moment I felt like it wasn't a good thing. But once I got through it all, it was just like, this is what had to happen to get me to this place where I am now. And I have to say, I am literally living my dream, like living my dream. And so if there is something that you have been wanting to do, or a dream that you've been holding on to, hold strong to your dream. I don't care how much time passes. Like I said, my first effort at trying to live out of the country, I was 20, trying to get a job with the Department of Defense to do the overseas teacher program. And here I am 50, I'm 30 years later, and living in another country, loving it, learning the new culture, acclimating myself to things here, and literally living my dream. And so I just encourage you to hold on to your dreams and believe that it can happen for you. And if you believe it can happen for you, if you have the faith and just know that your time is coming, don't give up. Don't give up on your dream. So that's pretty much how I ended up here in Lisbon. I am going to do another video to kind of talk more about my journey, so stay tuned, because like I said, there are some things that happened along the way that made this even possible for me. Like I said, it's been a long time coming, but just some steps that happened along the way that made this possible for me, and I'm going to detail those steps in another video, because I had to go way back to some beginnings to kind of go through that. So thanks for watching my video. If you have some questions, drop them below and I'll come back and respond. Thanks. Have a great day, guys.